coming at you. Another game of Shu. We played this, like a month ago, but, we didn't beat it. We're here on World 5-3, just a couple from the end. But, it's a... we've got the crew together, and we're gonna try to remember how to play the game real quick. Hey Kiara, how are you? I'm like, all right, that's certainly a button. Okay, not the right context for it though. You get like 5 lives per checkpoint. They go up to the. Okay, not promising. It's all right. We're just getting used to it again, right? After all, there's no need to be hurrying yet. It's not like the floor is gonna fall apart while we're on it. Oh, right. You ate pizza today. Good deal. Congratulations. Alright, how do we... I'm like, one of the buttons... That button... Okay, that one dashes forward. Not like that. The point of these final levels is that, because you've been playing the other ones, you know what your abilities are and how to work in tandem. Because normally the levels just give you, like, one little dude. Whoops. But fortunately, we made it back alive just in time to fall off again. It's okay. Oh my goodness. This is sure not going perfect. I'm sure this isn't even the hard part. Oh no, that was unwise. Well, we got through the wall. Let's work. Oh, I didn't have it today. I forgot how to. I'm like, that's right. I'm like, I remember now. And you can like fly and stuff. It's gonna be important. There we go. I remember how to use some of the abilities in the game now, and just in time. There we go. Hey Evan. How are you? I was looking through my... Oh no! Unwise. Through my game library, extensive as it is, and I was like, maybe I could... Oh no, that's not gonna do it. Maybe I could finish something before going. Then I was like, well no, not 9 Souls, because I've been playing so much of that, and anyway, we're not gonna finish that. I'm not, like, giving up, but, we're clearly, we don't need to worry about winning that fight. We can spend a long time just playing that fight. And then, like, I gave up Silksong. That game, Oh no! I'll probably pick it back up eventually. Or start a new game. There we go. No, yes. choice. Maybe we try to go up. Well, that didn't work so good. We'll try it again. Oh, that one's just a dude, just a little guy. Run! Oh no! That's just what I didn't want them to say. Alright, now we're on the timer. Oh no. You're sick and cannot sleep. Oh no! Both to that news, I hope you feel better soon, and to the fact that we've fallen off again. Again! And we need to put a move on, because, oh no, not like that. Oh no, not like that. Well, sure wish I would have known that was what I needed to do. That's what the extra lives are for. Oh, come on, really? The tilty things. Could have jumped there. That would have been better. All right. All right, there we go. Checkpoint, which means we get our lives. Okay, not a great place to fall. A very low information death, right? We're not gonna learn a lot from that one. Don't fall there. Got it. But what comes next? Like, what's gonna kill me here? Oh, well, the checkpoint is near. At least there's that. But, you know, we've only got this level and one more to do. Okay. Right. Assuming we can do it, though, you know. You gotta start over if you lose all your lives. But, if we get to the checkpoint... Not like that. Alright. As I was saying, though, if we get to the checkpoint... Boom, baby. I don't think that mouth got me. I think the dash was wasting time. I also think that it's sort of like pretty forgiving when they get you to the checkpoint, right? So like they'll push the shadow back a little bit. Alright, there we go. Took over 8 minutes to finish a level. Well, we got an achievement for it. Alright. It's the final level time. The Ancient Tower. Where I assume we're gonna, run the whole time. That's not what I was gonna say, but it's what we're saying now. Where I assume we'll, like, outrun the shadow and ultimately, you know, like, save the village. That's the kind of world I want to live in. Oh no, unwise. Okay. What a window there. I mean, it's not that precise, but it's still just like very... Because the shadow's following us this whole time, right? Right. I am right. No! Yeah, so here, I think if you time it wrong, then you just die, I think. Because you need to stop this bottom one right here. Nope, earlier than that, because I missed it. And then, you know, you're very much bound by the speed, yeah. Yep. Can't afford to wait a whole cycle on it. Well... We have the barest of a time window here. Oh, no, you're joking. Okay, we made it. Oh, we've lost all the townspeople now at this checkpoint, and it's just us. While it is sad, you know, hey, what's gonna happen to them? I hope they're okay. However, now we don't have their powers. Is that comforting? Why, yes it is. Why? Because if we don't have the power, we won't have to think about if it's appropriate to use them. We're just gonna be here, not jumping. Just not jumping it up. I don't think this game has much of what we would call coyote time. Ah, and then we get more dudes. I just forgot what they did, though. We're gonna have to figure it out. Okay. Not so good. Okay, so that's one of them. I don't remember what the other one does. It's not good. That's not good. Do I like jump in the air? You know, if I played the game all in one sitting, I would remember what these things did, but you know, we gotta figure it out. Alright, looks like we're gonna get a game over. It's alright, we can start at the beginning of the level, which after all isn't that long. Okay. Left bumper. No? Alright. Well, tell me the settings. It sure won't. It says power 1 and power 2. Well, apparently one of those things that I tried earlier should have worked. Great. At least the music's good. And again, that's really on me. I'm not like annoyed with the game because I forgot how to use, you know, the powers in the game. That could have been better. Whoops. You know, I tell you, I don't love the slow-mo. Mainly because it just seems like there's very few windows where you actually can time it properly. Which is fine normally, but of course you miss a cycle like here, where we want to do it like there. But, you know, if you don't know it, how do you do these Man. You know, I guess the game gives you checkpoints and there's the trial and error stuff, but, you know, there's basically, in my opinion, no way to look at this and figure out what you're supposed to do by looking at it. Which I guess, like, some amount of failure is fine to bake in. I just don't like the slowdown mechanic. I feel like it could be done interestingly. It combined with a cloud chasing you, though, you know, I just, it's not. You know, if something requires you to take advantage of precise timings, is it good to be chased? I mean, but the whole game is being chased, right? So, you just gotta deal. Alright, still says power 1 and power 2. You know, it should be easy, because B is power 2. And I don't, you know, maybe you have to jump in the air to use that power. Again, maybe. No, no, no. I don't. You jump and then you hit the jump button again. You know, this is... Even if the game teaches you how to do this, when you look at the controls for a game, they should tell you how to play the game. For exactly such a situation as this. Because Power 2 was actually done by hitting jump twice, right? And what they said was a lie. Which is not the end of the world, but it is, you know, annoying. Bonks on our heads. We're gonna have to do that again. Crunch. I'm like, that one lets me wall kick. I totally Totally remembered that. Gotta get more vertical there. These guys are like what I would consider very classic platformer fare, right? Guy that lets you walk on water, the guy... Oh no! Our dude's the guy that lets you kick the walls, you know. Because wall kicking is a very, like, classic platformer thing, but it also... Oh no, I fell down! It's also, like, you know, especially this game because it's very well telegraphed with the purple flowers on the wall, you know, you don't have to have a mouse showing up on the screen. How barbaric. No, 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 we're gonna die. Man, you know, we're just going a little bit too slow there, haha. But you can't really preserve momentum there. Alright, and then one of these gives us a double jump, right? Yep. Oh no, I don't know what the other one does. We better figure it out. Sure. Well, it started moving, so we just need to button mash some. We already tried the thing that the controls tells you to do, just to complain about that a little more. Oh. B? I guess we didn't try that one. In fairness, the power for the first one isn't on B, but rather it's on A. So, that's alright. Hopefully there'll be a checkpoint right here. No? Okay. Just boinging along. Alright, here we gotta be delicate, right? We gotta do the double jump a little later, maybe even, yep. You gotta do a little glide hop there, and that's about to fall away. Oh, okay. Well, we just missed the jump. I understood we were trying to make it. That's something. Did it again. Did the exact... No! There we go. Run away! And the swords fall down, but we're just gonna keep going full speed, right? Can't stop, won't stop. Ah! Yes, 7 more. However, so I think that's all of the villagers from the first 4 chapters, right? Because each of the chapters, you know, you met the ones, and then you got to use their stuff more. So I think this should be the final... Never mind, these are the last villagers, and I don't remember what they do. These are the last villagers, probably. Oh, and the one lets us float. Except too much. Got it. Ow. If we get a game over too, we have to do the whole level over, which it actually definitely looks like that's going to happen. That's going to be... You say, I got knowledge. Yeah, you know, that is one way of looking at it. Whoops. Okay. Like, right there, like, from when I got to there, I don't think that you can, I mean, I don't know if there's movement tech in this game, right? But I just don't think you could do it. And there, I clearly had all the time in the world. Whoops. Like, if I was designing these chase sequences, I think, you know, what I would do if I knew how to do it, which I don't, is I'd say, like, when you get to a checkpoint, you would just make the wall wait till it got to a predetermined, you know, this is where the wall of shadow waits at a checkpoint space. Because otherwise, you know, you put them into a position frequently where the timing is that you literally can't complete the segment you're in. Which, like, I don't know. It just feels like not a great way to do a checkpoint, right? Oof. I feel like if you wait there, then you get killed by the time later, like what just happened to me. You know, I don't think there's very much what's called coyote time. I don't think there's very much of it in this game. Coyote time, named for Wile E. Coyote of the Looney Tunes fame, right? Which is where, you know, you walk off the ledge in a platformer, and for a little split second, you can jump as if you're still, like, on solid ground, right? I don't know if this game has very much of it. A game that doesn't have it at all is Clair Obscur Expedition 33, and they definitely have, like, platforming challenges, and that was the last... That was the last of those lives. Yeah, because like, right there, too, that's the thing, like, you get used to it in a platformer because they mostly let you do it because it feels better. Whoops. Nope. Nope. There we go. Like, it almost seemed like it hung back there, it being the wall, but... Man, what I would do for a little bit of coyote time. I guess that's my biggest criticism of Shu. You know, I've only played it for, what, I guess like 2.5 hours maybe total now. But it feels like each individual place where you're platforming has like pretty rigorous requirements for it. Like it doesn't feel like you can quickly go up those steps. It feels like you have to make a jump and then another jump, you know? It doesn't feel like you can go fast. It feels like you can go, you know, the speed that the game demands of you. Which is okay for some things, worse for others. Because, like, you know, the game is based around outrunning an evil poison cloud. So it kind of stinks, like here, where you have to make 4 quite slow jumps. I don't know, it just... I feel like a lot of the gameplay is at tension with the design of the levels. But that's basically exemplifying the coyote time thing, because with it, you know, like, through all of these jumps, we'd be going quick and, like, trying to do it. And maybe there's a way, like, for a really strong player to do it, but for me, it just, like, it all feels so clumsy. Like here, it could be a little fluid, but the place between hitting your head and not, I don't know. Like those 3 jumps, it felt like there was not a way at all to conserve our momentum through there. So in the earlier one, so it seems like there are some checkpoints where... Ow. Where they do actually delay the evil cloud. Guess it just depends. No, there we go. Like this section right here, it just doesn't... Getting all agitated. It doesn't feel like... A section like this in a game where you jump from platform to platform back and forth can feel awesome, like right there, but that didn't feel good at all, right? Because we got stuck and now we're a thing too far down. It just feels... Because sometimes it holds back, you know, just for the timing of the area, but, you know... Alright. It's so obnoxious. I don't know what it is that's making me always choose to hit my head there on the... So it's like, am I thinking that my character is like getting conserved momentum from the air raft thing? That might be it. Like I'm assuming that I need to overcorrect, which is of course a terrible way to say not be correct at all. It should be called undercorrecting. I think that's exactly what happens, yeah. I'm like holding when I died there, not that time we died of something else. Holding against it, thinking that the character would conserve the momentum from going to the right, but that is not how it goes. And actually, when you jump off of it, you don't carry that speed anymore, which is a strange choice. A very strange choice. No. Can't believe that. So annoying. That's so annoying. Because what it does is it makes you not want to jump from the edge, right? But do you spend the time to line it up and then, like, jump a little further? Well, if you do, then the thing catches you. And if you don't, I think we're on 0 lives now, so we really gotta stop complaining and just try to... Nope. Nope, we're totally getting eaten. Yeah, that's that was probably pretty close to the last possible moment we could have gotten through there alive. Because at full speed, they do go too quick for you to, like, stay on them and react. Everything. It's just so... You know, when you play a game and you just feel like it should feel differently to play it, that's sort of how I feel about this game. And it's not that noticeable until you're on the clock, because otherwise, you know, you can always just take a little bit more time. But that's what I mean when I say that the mechanics work against the design of the level. Which is, I guess the worst thing you can say about a platformer, right? Is that it doesn't make internal sense. But it only presents itself as a flaw in segments when you're on the clock, which isn't every part of a level. And it's only a deeply obvious flaw in a long level. So when the game is easier and the levels are shorter, you know, you're not gonna die to stuff anyway, so you're not gonna even notice, because the jumps aren't tight with a tolerance at all. You're not gonna notice that you need them to be better. Anyway. It's a cool little game, and I enjoyed it when I played it, and I'm not enjoying it now. I wonder what the choice, like, was there a meeting Did they just never have it into the game and they didn't think this is something that people will expect? I don't know. Because logically, obviously, you shouldn't be able to jump after you've fallen off the ledge, but it makes a game feel better. Like, when I think about Donkey Kong Country, like DK 1, 2, and 3 on the Super Nintendo, they had these delightful movements that you could do by, like, you could roll off of an edge, and then after going off of the edge, you could conserve the momentum of the roll and jump from, like, not being attached to the ground, and you can go so fast, and it was awesome. And, you know, you could take these segments where maybe the game wanted you to do one thing, but if you could do, like, a cool little roll tech thing, then you could you know, do it a different way. Which actually reminds me a lot of, like, the wave dash and stuff in Celeste, where you can do movement in specific ways, like if you're an advanced player, to you know, do cooler things, go a little faster, you know, be more creative with it. But it doesn't seem like this game has any way to do that, I guess. Go down this stage in 6 minutes. That's fair. You know, I bet that's how long it takes you to beat it without dying. I bet that's about how long it takes. You actually get an achievement for spending more than 8 minutes in a single level, which I only got, you know, pretty late into the game. Sure. Right. Alright. Not like that. Oh, come on. Blah. Okay. Oh, that's... Got it. Oh, man. I didn't realize it was a bird route until right then. I thought I needed to go like up around that way. Alright. And that's... Alright. Alright, yeah. That's that. We did it. We did it. And we even got one of the little bird babies. And we are rewarded with a mighty cutscene. Because we rescued, you know, like all the villagers. Or rather, we brought them here. Are we gonna, like, get into a 6th spaceship? I don't know. I sure hope so. Oh. We're gonna sing the most beautiful song and it's gonna wake up everyone, I guess. They're blowing like the horn in the statue, and oh, okay. Well, I guess that's crazy. Anyway, it just stopped showing on OBS for a second. Anyway, I should have been there. All the villagers were up on this statue. They blew into the horn, and I don't even think it was on there, Evan. I think it wasn't. Whenever I looked over onto my monitor, it was showing black too, till I clicked. I don't know why. It may be that these videos are rendered in a different full screen window than the game executable is. Because that happens sometimes. I'll play a game and what is on the screen is not happening over there, which is really weird. Did it happen again? It happened again. Huh. Alright, that is so... But my face is still working, because this is... You just throw on like a raw display capture. That's crazy. Like, we had the game cap on the whole time. Anyway. That's not like a this game's badly made type of thing, you know, but it's just weird. I don't know. I wish I knew when to anticipate it. This game's all hand-drawn? Yeah, no, it's a super pretty game. And for all that it doesn't feel like you can go really fast, and that I wish it had coyote time, I feel... It's paradoxical, because, like I said a couple times earlier, and I'll probably say again, like, I feel like the design of the game and the mechanics work against each other. Because the game's at its best when you're looking around at the beauty of the world, when you're looking at what you need to do and solving the puzzles of it, you know, when you're going over to the left and kicking around something to see if there's something collectible. But the tension of the game and the story of the game is outrunning, right? So the game forces you away from paying attention to the things that make the game fun to play in all of its most dramatic moments. You don't get to stop and smell the roses. You have to run. You don't get to see the beautiful environments. You have to run. Which is interesting. It is interesting, but it feels like the whole game isn't in force scroller mode. You know, you wouldn't call it auto scroller because, you know, you're moving the screen. But I think most of the game actually is letting you control the pace, and it's better for that. Of course, the full final level is being chased. And often the final levels of the individual worlds would be being chased. But most of what you would do, which was, you know, not just like learning how things worked, but implementing them and stuff, is done on your own time. But it's a tricky balance to strike, I guess. It's even like I don't know. I bet a lot of this is just like my feelings from playing the final level too. And that, you know, if you're playing, you know, chapters 1 through 4, it's probably not that noticeable because you're given, you know, more time to do what you gotta do. Because, like, you know, what's the first level like? You know, the Cove of the Birds. You know, you could still be running as fast as you can. Oh, and you know, the collectibles, it still remembers which ones you've gotten before. So some games, you know, if you want to get all the butterflies, you would have to get every single butterfly. But here, they've got the dull ones where you've gotten them before. I wonder how tight the world record is on this level. But it's just such a pretty game. And I imagine, you know, in a large part, the collectability would be what would keep you coming back. And in that way, I guess, you know, you have a lot more of things to look for. See, like right here, how do we get over to that side? What's going on over there? Are those like... Oh no. Like, how does one even get over there? Do you jump in the wall? Do you have to go over to the other side? I don't know. But these are questions you couldn't even ask, like, in the tension-filled levels, right? 2 minutes, 39 seconds, yeah. We're way off. Well, I'm already way behind it. Oh yeah, and then we got Indiana Jones. That's right, that's the end of the level. I remember now. Give you a little sense of what it's like to have the time pressure. And we missed that butterfly just like we always do. Oh no. I bet 100% runs of this game are absolutely unpleasant to do. Like, come on! I guess you could get everything in one session. It just seems like it'd be pretty tough. But we awarded the gold butterfly. Oh, it tells you the world record there. Okay. Yeah. That's nice. You know, the game just lets you know what the time to compete with is. But anyway, You know, the game is Shu. Look, I think it's a fun little game. And I mean, like, I'm not gonna pursue 100%ing it or speedrunning or whatever, but I think it's cool that there are so many collectibles. I definitely, you know, I think that it's nice whenever a platformer has just like a ton of random little junk for you to get to the side that doesn't matter at all. Like, I'm all for that. You know, the bananas and the coins and, you know, all of that nonsense. Like, I think all that's cool. You know, as long as the game feels good to play when you're still happening. Which, you know, I like Shu. You know, you can play it front to back, you know, as a first-time player in a couple of hours. I don't remember when I got it. Probably from a Humble Bundle. It's possible that I bought it with actual money individually. I just don't remember. But I'm glad that I played it. It's really pretty, just visually, and the music's quite nice, and the sound is mostly good. There's a couple times when so I have this thing where I hate, like, hammering sounds happening over and over again. I know, super rare, but, you know, the game does that a couple times, but what are you gonna do? All in all, a good experience. This is one of the rare games that I played on stream that no one told me to play, right? Like, nobody was like, I've heard of this game called Shu, you should play it. It was just in my game library, and it caught my eye, kind of thing. But it's good, you know. It's like the story had high stakes and everything, but it didn't feel. You know, the story is that we're getting the villagers and saving them, but it didn't ever feel like that was what was going on, right? That's just the conceit of the plot, you know? I didn't know. I assume Shu is our character's name, but it could be like the name of the village or the country. I don't know any of the villagers' names that we rescued, right? None of them have personalities, not really. That's fine, it's a platformer, but it's, you know. Like, if it's not the point of a game to establish characters and their relationships, then it's fine that they didn't, right? But it did make each world feel like, alright, it's cool, new place, new image, we're going to get new abilities, that'll be fun. And it was fun, it is fun. But you don't feel like, I'm gonna meet someone new. It was never like, oh, this villager with the blue and white flowing beard or whatever, I wonder what he's like. It's just like, okay, we get a double jump thing, sweet. Unless that was the red one. You see, I don't even know which ones had the powers. Which is okay, because the point of the villagers giving you the powers is to have a mechanical reason for your movement abilities in the context of the levels. And because of the way that the game levels are designed, it doesn't want to be like... They can't give you the agency over what moves to use, because otherwise the sections don't make sense with the time constraints, right? If they give you access to the double jump all the time, then the game has to be built for access to the double jump. Whereas if they restrict it in the form of this villager, they don't have to do an in-universe explanation for why such and such power-up doesn't work. Or, you know, why you can't glide anymore. That kind of thing. Why you can't walk on this water. But it does feel like a bit of a missed opportunity. I feel like Right, so it's what? Is it 8 total villagers or is it 10? Anyway, you know, like, that you get abilities from. I don't feel like it would have taken too much time to characterize them a little bit inside the game. But it's not really what the game's about, you know, it's not a... The narrative of saving the villagers exists so that we can play in this beautiful world. And I guess that's my real takeaway from it, is that Shu is a really breathtakingly gorgeous game. It really is wonderful to look at. And it's pretty fun to play, but it doesn't feel, you know, earth-shattering or anything, and which is fine. Not every game has to. This theme's really good, though. I dig that. I'm glad I came back and played it. I'm very glad that we beat the final level, because there were a couple of times when I was like, man, do I want to play this map for an hour and a half? Will I even beat it? But I did, you know, and that's nice. You know, you hate to play a 2-hour game on stream and not even wrap it up and then say you liked it, you know. And I did. I did like Shu. I think it was a fun little game. And who knows? Maybe one day we'll come back to it and see if we can get like a 2:45 on that first level, you know, just a few seconds shy of it. But while there are some games that I play and I sort of get an inkling like, speedrunning, this would be awesome, I think this is a game where it's more fun to look around a little bit and take your time. But that's right, they have a leaderboard right here. Yeah, you could you could even see how close other people were. So I guess I'm in the top 1400. That's one way to put it, right? Well, now that I know I can see my own rank so easily, I'm kind of obsessed with... Oh, you only get the time after you beat it, right? Yeah. It doesn't save your time till you load in. Well, that's pretty cool. And that also lets me see that the game doesn't have the hugest Steam player base, right? So that was just 1,700 people that played the level more than once. You know, but yeah. Good night, Evan. I too am off to bed. Maybe we'll just grind the first level someday and see how high we can get in the leaderboard there. It's kind of wild though to be looking at it and be like, oh, I guess only 2,000 people ever got ranked there. But a good game, I would say. You know, if you find yourself with the opportunity to play it and it's in your game library, then I would go ahead and do that. I don't know anything about the developer, but I'll definitely figure out what their name is and, you know, put it in the old mental rack of developer names. And if I see they've done something else in the future, maybe I'll give it a shot too, or put it on the short list. But glad I did this. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Good night, Evan. Good night, Kiara. I'm off again tomorrow. I should hopefully be playing games all day long rather than today, where I mainly laid around, ate snacks, and watched so much StarCraft. So much StarCraft. I had a lot to catch up on, so I watched just a ton of it. It was great. It was, you know, shout out to my man Diggity SC is his channel name. He does not know who I am, but I'm a big fan. You know, I've been watching Diggity for 18 years now. So I been slacking on my StarCraft tournaments for a bit, but yeah, but that's there. I went ahead and linked his channel in the description again. He doesn't know who I am. I'm just a fan. But he, you know, he does English language commentary of StarCraft competitive, like tournament play, and he's been doing that forever. So if you go back in time, you'll see, you know, the old era of YouTube. But he just, you know, I really like him, and he's one of the old guys that are still doing it, so I still watch and support him. But anyway, watching competitive StarCraft isn't for everyone, but I love it. I could do it forever. It's one of my things, one of my comfort genres. I'll just sit down and say, "Ooh, Zerg vs Protoss. I've only seen 10,000 of that matchup. I'll watch another one." But yeah, he's got like, I think it said like 27,000 subscribers, but a lot of those are like legacy subscribers. Most of his videos don't get tons of views anymore, which is too bad, but you know, that's sort of how the internet goes, right? Can't expect people to like one thing forever, even if you do. But anyway, good night, and maybe I'll see you guys tomorrow. Later.